Okay, we're on the north side of the garage, the exterior, power below grade. We have a protective sleeve, that's a good thing. Our box and our main disconnects box are sealed, good thing. So is the disconnect box for the condensing unit. This is a 240 volt system. I know that some of my home inspector friends in Phoenix are starting to see meters that have 250 on there, but that's not what I'm finding, guys. So, okay, when the grounding rod goes through the wall, okay, that should be sealed to help prevent moisture infiltration into the system. We've got our main principal here. It's 200 amps. Got L1 and L2 coming in. It's copper to copper. Ground is loaded. And we've got a non-conductive cover over L1 and L2. Currently, that's not required down here. One day it will be, but currently it's not required. It's not required inside. So we have it everywhere we're supposed to have it there. So just come over here and put our cover on. That's the main part of the house. Also, excuse me, emergency disconnect. It's supposed to be labeled as being an emergency disconnect, and it is. I want that shut like it's supposed to. I'm going to give it one more try. Go through the gully here. Oh, by the way, at least the water goes down. Inside, this is what people call the breaker box. It's the electric load center. Okay, so I call it the service panel, but it's the electric load center. This is one of your main grounds right here on a UFER. That should say UFER on there, UFER. It should be labeled. Most electricians would know. They come in here and they'd see that, but once you move in, there may be shelves and boxes and storage all around here. Shouldn't be, but there may be. And then the electrician would look inside of the box here, the cabinet, and he'd say, oh, wow, look, the ground is on the water heater and the UFER on the wall, and they'd have instructions. We don't have instructions. Here's that other ground though. Goes on the gas piping. So coming in here, you see this? This is handwriting. All right? It's supposed to be printed. See where it says Eaton, UL listed, electric cabinet, front, danger, all that's printed. This is hand labeled. I didn't wake up this morning and say, how can I piss off the builder? You know what? I just decided that I don't like the way those breaker boxes look. I didn't do that. Eaton manufacturer wants these printed. They even ship this with pre-printed labels that you could use. So they're pretty adamant about it. The International Residential Code and the National Electrical Code all think this should be printed. That wasn't me. I didn't come up with that. Is something going to not work because it was handwritten instead of printed? Probably not. Is it handwritten at my house? I confess. But it's supposed to be printed. It's a new home. Thought you might want to know. You got AC label down here. ABC label down here is 20 amps. Our condensing unit requires a 25 amp breaker. That means that that condensing unit outside is designed to run warmer than this breaker will trip. This breaker could trip in an untimely manner. It's still going to prevent, it's still getting hot. Okay, so it's hot, it's kind of hot. But it was designed to run past 20 amp rating. It's supposed to run to a 25 amp rating, so it's overrated, underfused. Coming over here, dryer, if you can read that, 30 amp, supposed to be. 30 amp dryer, no GFCI. Clothes dryers are supposed to be GFCI protected. And that would mean that it would be like a molded breaker. You wouldn't see the individual breakers with a handle tie on there. It would just be one breaker and it would have the GFCI in there. We've got the wrong breaker configuration for the clothes dryer. We're supposed to have a GFCI protected circuit breaker for the 30 amp clothes dryer. We are. That's what we're supposed to have. What else, bud? I'm looking. You see that screw right there? It's a drywall screw. That's a drywall screw. You can hold these cabinets in place with screws that are more robust than that, fasteners that are more robust than that. Nails, I've got instructions where the manufacturer has a picture of a nail going in there. So all those things can happen, but the drywall screws, they're good for holding drywall and stuff, but they're not structural. They'll pop like a pimple. This thing, this home experiences a tornado, you've already got a bad day. I get that. The garage gets blowed up, you've already got a bad day. This cabinet pops out like a pimple over here, and the first responders are stepping over the sparky box, trying to get in there and help somebody and do them some good. No. It'd be better if it stood in place. Of course, the tornado blew it up, remember? Okay, well, it's still stuck to the framing and stuff, so you still got a part of a building here. You've got a larger piece. You just don't have a wild, crazy sparky box floating around, jumping, hopping, trying to bite people like a rabid chihuahua. And that's not what you want. We need some better fasteners in here. So what did we learn? Our bonding location and our grounding location are not labeled in the cabinets. Our cabinets are our breakers are hand labeled. We learned that our air conditioner is too small and our clothes dryer is not GFCI protected. And that's really about it.